Greetings, everybody. My name is Michele Cosi, and I am a data science educator for CyVerse and the Data Science Institute here at the University of Arizona. Today, I am going to be giving you a tour of CyVerse, what it is, and what it can do in order to help you with your research. If you do not have a CyVerse account and are interested in using CyVerse, please go to user.cyverse.org, where you can create your own CyVerse account. Please also do use your edu email address when signing up for CyVerse. Without further ado, I would like to jump in and give you a little bit of background before giving you the tour of the platform itself. So CyVerse vision and mission. Its vision are to transform science through data-driven discovery, and its mission are to design, deploy, and expand a national cyber infrastructure for research and to train scientists in its use. CyVerse's desire are to make the cloud feel like your laptop, a laptop with thousands of cores, lots and lots of RAM, petabytes of storage, and all your techie friends in the same room. Before CyVerse was CyVerse, it was iPlant, conceived in 2008 to help deal with the increasing amount of data coming from the plant sciences fields. As the years progressed, iPlant had to reinvent itself into CyVerse because of a growing attention coming from different fields of science, such as astronomy. Now in 2024, CyVerse has a global community ranging from the United States to UK, Austria, Australia, and Canada. Today, we count more than 125,000 users, more than 1,600 publications and citations, 11 petabytes of data, and more than 40,000 people trained through these trainings. CyVerse wouldn't be here without its collaborators at Access and Jetstream, and even Internet 2, which altogether we were able to create Cacao, the cloud automation and continuous analysis orchestration. With all of this said, I am now going to shift gears and show you how you can go from creating an account all the way to using CyVerse. As mentioned a moment ago, please go to user.cyverse.org and click on that sign up button using your edu account. If you already do have a CyVerse account, feel free to then log in. I am logging in right now into the user portal. And the user portal is a great place to start, where you can get access to a number of services. The ones that I want to bring your attention to are the discovery environment, which is our laboratory bench, our cloud laboratory bench, and Vice, which is where all of our applications live. Vice and the discovery environment go hand in hand, as we're going to be seeing in just a second. In the user portal, you can also modify your account, such as name, add addresses, add your org ID, and you can also create certain requests, such as create a community folder. And community folders are folders that can be viewed from everybody in CyVerse, and you can also have people outside of CyVerse view the data, and ask for cyber resources for your class or workshops. You can also request some collaborative partnership with us. And if you want, you can click on this workshop tab on the left. And if you see a workshop that's using CyVerse and allows you to join, you can go ahead, mail the organizer and ask to be part of that specific workshop. I'm going to go back to services now, and I'm going to launch the discovery environment. As I mentioned a second ago, the discovery environment is our cloud laboratory bench, where you can access all of the applications and even your data. To log in, you can click on the top right button over here where it says login, and it shows a little icon of a user. And since you are already logged in your user.cyverse.org is going to also log you in the discovery environment. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. What you see here in the home of the discovery environment is the resource usage. And resource usage tells you how much data in your data store you have stored and how many hours of CPU you have used throughout your time here at CyVerse. It also tells you how many analyses in total you have run, how many have failed, and how many are currently running. I want to bring your attention to the left side menu. And the left side menu is where you are going to be accessing your data, the various applications living on CyVerse, and how you can share this data with either people within CyVerse and outside of CyVerse. The first thing that I want to show you is the data. This gets access to the data store where you can upload your own data and also access data that's been shared with you. Right now, right now we are viewing my own data that is present on the data store. But if I want to share or if I want to view shared folders with me, I will have to go over here and click on this button where a drop-down menu tells me what data has been shared with me through the Share With Me button, or what data is available for everybody on CyVerse. Let's see what data has been shared with me. So within a few seconds, a number of folders are now loaded that their primary users have decided to give me ability to view this specific data. And if these are all folders that people can choose to share. And we're going to cover sharing in just a second. You can also go back and view the community data. And this is data that everybody in CyVerse can see. Going back to our own folder, we talked about sharing very quickly, so I'm going to show you how you can share a specific folder or a file with somebody that you are collaborating with. I'm going to select this folder right here, which is a backup folder, and I'm going to just click on this folder. And as you can see, there is a number of options that have come up top. These options you can also view on the right side where the three dots are. And for example, let's say that I want to share this folder with a collaborator of mine. So I'm going to click on the share button. And I will need to put the entire CyVerse username, email, or group within this field. Because we have to adhere to European laws, you cannot use a partial name. And therefore, because I have shared this folder with because I have shared folders with this collaborator, you may see this collaborator's username come up first. But if this is your first time sharing with somebody, you will need their entire username. I want to share this folder with my collaborator, Jeff. And all I need to do now that his search result yielded his username, I can click on it. And here I can choose which permissions he has in order to view this specific folder. Read means that he can see the folder. Write means that he is able to make modifications to the folder. And own means that he owns this folder. I can then also remove him from people that have access to the specific folder. And I'm just going to go ahead and do that right now. I then click done, and we are back onto our own data store folder. So then the question becomes, all right, I can share files through CyVerse, but how can I upload files to CyVerse? There is a number of ways somebody can upload files to CyVerse. The first is through your web browser, and over here you may see an upload button. You can upload data coming from your local computer, or you can also upload data from a specific URL. Now, you need to know that when you are uploading these files using the upload button, the upload is going to be hindered by the speed ability of your web browser itself, in this specific case, Chrome. Therefore, this is not the best way for you to upload data. I want to show you two different ways which we prefer users to upload their data. And the first is by using CyberDuck. And CyberDuck is a service or a software which allows you to view a specific server given specific credentials. I'm going to pull up CyberDuck right now. And this is the CyberDuck application where I can see the same exact file from my computer, but these files are the ones that belong on the data store itself. Now, one of the greatest thing about CyberDuck is that it allows for drag and drop. A lot of people are not very tech savvy, and dragging and dropping can be a lifesaver for a lot of people. CyberDuck upload and download speed are a lot quicker than your normal web browser. Now, if you are a little bit more tech savvy, I want to bring your attention to the command line terminal, where we offer a much faster tool called Go Commands. When using Go Commands, it allows you to, for example, first of all, show you a number of additional options and flags that you might want to use whilst uploading, viewing, or downloading your data. And let's just say that right now, I just want to use Go Commands in order to view my folder. And the command for you to view your folder is ls, which stands for list. Similar and the same to the command that you use on the terminal in order to view your own folders. So if I do go command ls, it is going to go and fetch all of the folders and files within my own folder, and these are going to be the exact same. Go command upload and download speed using put or get, very similar to SFTP, are much faster in comparison to CyberDuck or the web browser speed. So let's go back to the discovery environment and the data store itself. Given a specific subscription level, you're granted a number of gigabytes or terabytes, depending on your subscription level. But uploading data to CyVerse is not the only thing CyVerse is good at. And CyVerse allows you to launch a number of apps. Applications are where CyVerse shines, and where it allows you to give or set a specific amount of RAM, CPUs for example, a specific Jupyter lab, such that it can scale up. A commercial computer today, let's say that you're buying a new MacBook, you can probably choose between 8 gigabytes, 16 gigabytes, and maybe 4, 8, 16 cores. And that's not enough when you want to do science. You need a lot more RAM, and sometimes you need a lot more cores as well. And that is what CyVerse allows you to do. Let's say that you want to start a Jupyter Lab. I'm going to start a Jupyter Lab data science. And before I continue, I want to state that these are all applications that we maintain, and they range from a Cloud Shell to Jupyter Labs to different versions of R and even Ubuntu desktop applications. But for this specific showcase, I'm going to be launching a Jupyter Lab. There is a number of versions that we maintain, and for right now, I do want to launch the latest version, which is 4.2.0. You can give an analysis its specific name. So I'm going to say Jupyter Lab Demo. And I do not want to change the output folder because this is where the standard output of all the analysis is, but please do feel free. Excuse me, if you want to change the output folder, and you can specify it here. I'm going to be clicking next, and here is where you can choose the minimum amount of CPUs and also the maximum. Let's say that I don't need much right now, so I'm just going to say 4 minimum CPU cores, but as you can see, you can scale up to 128. And the same goes for RAM, where for this specific showcase, I'm just going to go for 16. And disk space, the minimum amount of disk space you can choose from ranges from 1 GB all the way to 512. I'm going to leave it empty, and when you leave something empty, it means that it just goes for what CyVerse thinks it's best. I'm also going to set the maximum of CPU cores to 4, and this means that I have selected the minimum and the maximum to be the same, and therefore CyVerse will only allocate 4 GB to this specific applications and not more, not less. I'm going to click next, and it's going to give me a, hey, this is it. Do you want to launch your application page? And yes, I would like to launch my application. And this, as you can see, we went from apps to the analysis tabs. And the analysis tab is extremely important because it has a list of all running or finished analysis that you have been computing throughout your entire time using CyVerse. I am going to go back to the page of my Jupyter Lab, and I can do that by either clicking the name or by clicking over here in the Go to Analysis button. By clicking Go to Analysis, we are now opening our Jupyter Lab that we just launched, and Jupyter Lab is extremely powerful because all of a sudden you have the power of using Python, but you also have the power, as you're granting, to use R and the terminal directly from the Jupyter Lab itself. Another thing that is worth pointing out is that this application is connected to the data store itself. So if I were to click Home and Cose Michele, here are all of the data that I have in my own data store. And therefore, please see how this is exactly how a laptop with its own storage is, just on steroids with a lot more gigabytes of RAM and a lot more CPUs. I'm going to go back to the Analysis tab now, and I'm going to show you something extremely important. This X button right here. This is the button for termination. And it's extremely important because if you do not terminate your analysis, then these are just going to be sitting there burning your allocations. Imagine it like a car. You can turn on the car and leave, not go anywhere with the car, and the car is still going to be sitting there burning its energy, burning its gas oil, or if you have an electric car, burning some of those electricity. So in order for you to stop the application, do select the application that you require and click the Terminate button. A pop-up is going to come up. Here, you can terminate your analysis, and this will help you save some of those compute hours. Now, we do have our own applications that we are maintaining for people to use, and these are great applications, but what if you want to bring your own software? All of these applications are actually containers or containerized images of applications. And using technologies such as Docker container or Singularity, you can wrap your software and upload it into a, for example, registry such as Docker Hub. And what CyVerse can allow you to do is that it can create an application from that specific container up in the registry. And how do you do that? Well, CyVerse can use tools in order to create a tool from the container itself. And if you go to the Tool tab, click on More Action, you can click here, Add Tool. With Add Tool, you can give the tool your name, you can give the tool your version, specify whether the tool is an executable or interactive, and an executable tool is a tool such as Blast, which runs on the command line, whilst a tool such as Jupyter Lab is an interactive tool, which has its own IDE, for example. Here, then you add your container image name and address, and also the tag. Then you can add the specific restrictions such as max CPU cores, memory limit, and if you do know the specific working directory within the container that you have created, then you can add it over here, and the entry point and the UID itself. Once you're ready, you can click Save, and as you can see, there is so many images that already have been registered. Once you have put your container on CyVerse as a tool, you go back to the App tab, click Create, where you can create an app or a workflow. And here you can add your app name, a specific version of your app, a description, and select the tool that you created. All right. I am now going to take a step back because we have covered the data. So how you can upload data to your data store, how you can launch applications, and how you can terminate it. We have seen very little of how you can share your data and applications with your collaborators. However, I wanted to show you a more powerful way to share data and applications. Because, for example, going back to data, if I want to share this test folder with my collaborators, I will have to select it, click on Share, and let's say that I want to share with two people, Jay Gillen and T. Sweatnam. And maybe I have to add some more people. So I want to share it with a friend called Edwin. I want to share it with a collaborator called Saranja. And as you can see, I have to add them one by one, but this is a pain tasking operation, taking time. So we have created a new tool, and this tool allows you to group people together in something that we call teams. And in teams, you can create your own team and share a specific file or a specific application with the team directly, and everybody within that team will receive the specified permissions that you have identified when creating the team. So looking at the team tab, click on the top right where it says Team Plus. And here you can give your team a name, CyVerse demo, give it a description for getting started with CyVerse. And here you can add every member that you require. So Jay Gillen, T. Swetnam, Sarah R. Edwins. And on the right over here, as you can see, you have the ability to give people specific privileges, such as being an admin of the team. So an admin has the ability to remove or add people to the team, or just be a member of the team. You can also choose whether this is public or private. And if it is public, it does not mean that everyone can join your team, because people will be able to see the team, but if they want to join, they can ask to join, and you will receive a notification saying, hey, a new user wants to join your team. Will you allow them to do so? So just because it's public, it does not mean that everybody can join the team. I'm going to be saving this team, and everybody that now is part of this team will be receiving. There seems to have been a problem with specific privileges. Let's see what the details say. Connection is not open. Because this is a demo, I'm not going to go ahead. I'm just going to click back and just show you that, for example, you get a notification once you're added to a specific team. Then you can click over here and see how many teams there are. And as you can see, we did receive a notification, but the team itself has been created. Technology is funny. And now I can go back to my data, and instead of selecting each person one by one, I can select the folder that I want to share with people, click on the share button, and here I can just do CyVerse demo, click, and give people all of the permissions necessary. I want them to own this specific test, and here I can click done. Once again, we're receiving a failed share, but I just want to show you the various steps that you need to do in order to share your files with a specific team. People in that team will once again receive a notification, and once completed, they have access to this specific file or folder. Now, we have gone through the data store, show you how to launch certain apps and how to terminate them. And now these apps also talk to the data store itself. We have seen how to create teams and how you can share certain folders with specific teams. And even if there were some issues with sharing, you can still see the steps necessary when creating a team. If you are having issues with creating a team, you can always contact us by clicking help. And this will allow you to look at specific FAQs, send us an email, and we are going to be in contact with you to try to fix whatever issue you're coming up with. There is another couple of things that I want to show you. And the first is datacommons.cyverse.org. Q2-2024.org, and this is where people can access the community release folders I was showing you earlier. These are the folders that everyone else on the internet can see. So make sure that the data that you do upload in the community folder is adherent to licenses and specific permissions. And lastly, I want to show you CyVerse Curated, where we hold our own DOIs. We do own 11 petabytes of data, and a lot of this data comes down to registered DOIs where people have uploaded the data. For example, the Caroline Lawrence Still group has a gene ontology data that they have uploaded, and now this DOI will forever redirect to this folder. So when Caroline Lawrence Still creates a scientific publication, they can stick this DOI, and this DOI will always show the people part that are reading the scientific publication where the data lives. Lastly, this was a lot of information in a very little amount of time. If you do want to learn more on CyVerse, how to create containers, how to upload your data, go to learning.cyverse.org. And here you can learn about how to manage your data, how to run analysis, how to develop your own containers and upload them to CyVerse. And here is just an example. This goes into a lot more details on the maximum file size that you can upload when moving data. It sends you to the right link on CyberDoc to download the client, or it can also show you the Go commands and go through how to install Go commands, how to initiate it, what are the right configuration for you to use, and other various options. With all of that said, I'm going to stop sharing my screen now, and I would like to thank you all for listening to this video, and I hope that you do end up using CyVerse for your research, and if you have any issues, please do contact us. Thank you for your patience, and I hope you have a lovely day.